Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome to F6 online support program. Today's lesson is related to page number 72 of student book and page number 48 of workbook. It is unit number 6, I Have a Dream, in which we are going to learn about the language focus 1, use of will and be going to. For this, you are required to have with you student book, workbook, English language notebook, a blue and a black gel pen. In this lesson, we will learn about the correct usage of will and be going to in our writing and speaking. Today's thought of the day: if you can dream it, you can do it. It means that when you want to do something, first you must have a dream for it. Once you have a dream, then you try for it and finally you can have this thing. For today's lesson, objectives are: identify the correct use of will and be going to. We will use be, will and be going to in our writings appropriately. We will create the sentences by using will and be going to, and then we will convert the affirmative sentences into negative and interrogative sentences. First of all, tell me, do you know how many kind of main tenses are there? There are 3 main tenses: present, past and future. Do you know about them? I guess so. So the present tense. The present tense tells us about the actions or the situations that happens nowadays or right now. What is happening, it is also the present. In past tense, we always talk about that has happened before this time, and we talk about the future tense when we have the actions that are going to be happen after some time. Today's topic: will and be going to. How to form sentences with will. First of all, we will learn that how to make the affirmative sentences. So for affirmative sentences, first we will have the subject, then will, then verb's base form or first form of the verb. Then for the negative, we just add on not, will not, subject, then will not, and the shortest form of will not is won't. It is also called the contracted form. And then we put the first form of the verb, like I will not go to Thailand. For the questions or interrogative sentences, first we will put the will, then subject, and then base form of the verb. Will you go to Thailand? So it's our question. Be very careful that always the negative sentence have the not in it, and in the interrogative sentence we must have the helping verb in the start of the sentence. Where do we use will? We use will to express future possibilities and to make predictions. There are 2 uses of will. Let's see the examples. You will have a good job one day, in which we are telling the future possibility. It is not sure about the thing. When the word will comes, it means that you are not sure about something. There is some kind of possibility, but not the surety. So you will have a good job one day. We are not sure, but because of some things, we can hope for them that you will have a good job one day. To make predictions. How do we make predictions? Like it will rain tomorrow. So we are just giving the prediction here. We are not sure that either it will rain or not, but we are just looking at the circumstances and we are just giving the prediction that it can happen. We often use the following adverbs with will to indicate how sure we are. Now the surety, as I told you, that there is the possibility of the actions, but we are not sure about it. So we can tell that how much sure we are with the help of these 4 adverbs: definitely, probably, maybe, perhaps. Let's see the examples. You will definitely pass your exam. He will probably know the fastest way to get rid of this situation. Maybe the train won't reach on time. Perhaps they won't take any action against the criminals. So here won't is the short form or contracted form of will not, and I have used definitely, probably, and maybe, and perhaps in the sentences. Let's see how to make the sentences with be going to. In be going to, we also have the same sentence structure. First, we will put subject, then be. Here, the be is actually the verb to be form of the present, like is, am, are. Then we are going to add on going to, then verb's first form. Let's see the example. You are going to love my new bike. Then, how to make the negative sentence? Subject, then is MR, then not, going to, verb's first form. Charlie isn't going to come with us. Isn't is the contracted form of is not. Then is MR, subject, going to, and verb's first form. It is the sentence structure of questions or interrogative sentences. Are your parents going to buy you some new books? So here is a question. What we are going to do is am, are. These three helping verbs will come at the start of the sentence. Then we will put the subject, going to, then verb's first form, and then rest of the sentence. Let's see the uses of be going to. Where do we use be going to? When we have made decision to do something in future. Be going to is used for the future actions, but the future actions in which we are sure that we are going to do this and we have taken the decision, then we use be going to. He is going to be a chef. And the second use of be going to is to make prediction based on clear evidences. We are predicting here also, but these predictions are based on the clear evidences. It's going to take a long time to get tickets because there are a number of people outside cinema. So here, why the person is saying that it's going to take a lot of time? Because there is so much crowd of people and we are sure that it can take long time. So going to is used for the predictions that have the clear evidence. If we do not have the clear evidence, so we will use will with it, not going to. And if we have planned something and our future plan is already decided and we have taken the decision for it, we will use be going to. And if we are not sure about our future plans, so we will use will with it. Now what you have to do? You have to complete the task in student book first. First you have exercise 1. Complete the dialogues with will and the verb in the box. Use short form and short answers where possible. You have to use will and the verbs from the box, right? And you have to fill the blanks. In the second one, complete the dialogues with be going to and the words in the bracket. Give short answers where necessary. Here are the dialogues for the second exercise. You have to complete these dialogues by using the word given in the bracket and by using be going to. This exercise will take a lot of space, so you must do the exercise number 2 in your notebook. Here you have exercise 3. And you have to do this exercise in your notebook, but after noting down all the important points and examples from the lesson. What you have to do here, complete the sentences with your own ideas. Use will or be going to. So you can use anything. If you have not decided anything, then you will use will. And if you have taken a decision to do something, you are going to write be going to. So there are some incomplete sentences, so you have to complete these sentences in your notebook. This work will also be done in the notebook. Now you have the task to be done in workbook, page number 48. Here is exercise number 1 and 2. Complete the sentences and question with the phrases in the box. You can see the box here and they have some phrases in it. In some phrases there are be going to, and in some sentences there is the use of will. So you have to read the sentences very carefully and see that which phrases will come in which sentence. Then you have to choose and circle the correct answer to complete the dialogues. Again, you have been given the choices will and going to. So be very carefully, read the sentences and find out that where will come will and where will we put we going to. Here is exercise number 3, and you have to do this also in your workbook but very neatly. Write a sentence about each photo with the phrases in the box and be going to. Now you have to make the sentences with be going to. Do not use will here and use the phrases that are given here, like play football for my country. So you can see the first picture in the first phrase. So or you can see very carefully that in which picture the football is going to be played. So write it in a complete sentence and use be going to with it. Let's have a recap. Where do we use will and going to? We can easily identify that will is used to express the future actions that are decided at the moment of speaking, but they are not actually very sure about these actions. We use will with them. And going to is used in which we have decided and we have planned something in the past and now we are going to do it in the future. So it's mean that these plans are decided plans and we are not going to change them. Similarly, we use the predictions by using the will. We give the predictions by using the will, where we are just giving the personal opinion or experiences.